What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com, bringing you another segment of Be a Better Rapper Now. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I get quite often, and that is, Cole, how many syllables should I be trying to fit within each bar? Now, before I give you a specific number, let me first give you the three main reasons why it does not even matter. Reason number one is because syllables are not an accurate measurement. What I mean by that is all syllables are not created equal. All syllables are not the same length. Okay, so for an example, if I were to take the word strike, which is one syllable, if I were to take the word no, also one syllable, strike, no. Obviously, strike is much longer because it has to be held much longer to emphasize it than the word no. Okay, so all syllables are not the same length. Reason number two has to do with tempo. Okay, so in music, what you need to understand is all bars are always the same length, right? Like a mile in the real world is always a mile in length. It never changes its length. The same applies to bars in music, okay? What changes is our miles per hour, okay? So in the real world, what changes is how long does it take you to travel across a mile, which is determined by how fast you're going, right? Your miles per hour. So in music, our miles per hour is called tempo, all right? So based upon the tempo of a track will determine how much time that you're spending within each bar, okay? So a slower tempo track, you'll have a lot more time to fit more syllables than you would a tempo that's much faster. So to give you some specific numbers in hip hop, a good mid tempo, so something that's middle, it's not too fast, not too slow, is around 90, 95 beats per minute. That's a good mid tempo. A really fast tempo is, let's say 110, 120. That's kind of getting in the dance range, pop range. And then slower tempos around, let's say 50 or 60 beats per minute is really slow. Okay, so the tempo is going to have a dramatic effect on how much time you have to work within each bar, which also will affect the amount of syllables you could use. And if you haven't already seen my video that I did on tempo, you can click the I up there, or I also put a link in the video description where I'm talking about tempo. And the third reason why it doesn't matter how many syllables that you have within each bar is because it comes down to the emotion and the feeling of the instrumental, the vibe the instrumental is putting out. So the more dense that you pack your bars, typically the more aggressive it's gonna sound. So for an example, if you're rapping over an instrumental that's very melodic and really chill and kind of soft and gentle, you may not want to go super aggressive over that. You may want there to be a little bit more space within your bars, okay? You see, the amount of syllables that you're actually putting in your bars is only one of the ways that we as rappers fill in bars. You see, there's actually three ways that us rappers fill in every single bar. The first one is going to be density. Okay, obviously, we've been talking about this already. The more syllables that you cram into a bar, the more it's going to be filled up. And the second way that we fill in every single bar is by sustain. What I mean by sustain is how long each syllable is held, right? And I've already alluded to this earlier as far as how come all syllables are not equal. They have different lengths based on how long you need to hold them to actually say them clearly. But also in music, that's not the only factor. You may choose just to hold a note just for effect, just to drag something out and make it sound cool or something like that. So in music, we have these things called music notes. So every single syllable you'll ever rap is technically a music note. And each music note gets its name by how long it's held. So if you haven't already, make sure you check out my video called Music Notes Explained, where I go in deeper about this. And if you also want to practice getting familiar with different music notes, I also go over all that in my free rap course I have here on my YouTube channel called 5 Minutes to a Better Rap Flow. And the third way that we fill in each bar is based on space, pauses. And that may not be as obvious to some of you, but we fill in, we occupy room in our bars with space as well. Sometimes we need to take a pause for the calls. Sometimes we just need to add a little bit of pause in what we're saying to give the listener time to reflect on what we just said or what we're about to say, or also to give it more of a live element to make it feel like we're thinking about what we're about to say next. spaces are very important. You know, if you think about like the ocean, for an example, the ocean, you have the water that comes in and then it retracts, it comes back, and that's the breath of life, if you will. You know, when you're rapping, you're going to be taking pauses, you're going to be breathing, and not only that, you need to give your verses room to breathe at times, especially if it calls for more of a live feel or more intimate feel. It may not need to be as aggressive. Okay, so pausing is another way that we fill in every single bar. Now that I've explained all of that, if you're still wanting a general number to shoot for your bars, a good general number to shoot for is between 10 syllables and 13 syllables. Now, that will kind of put you in that nice little medium. It's not too dense, but it's not overly dense to where it's like no space left. So 10 to 13 syllables is usually a good, just generic place to shoot for. Again, your mileage may vary based on the tempo of your track, but that'll put you in the right general space that you need to be in, most likely. Now to recap real quick, the 3 main reasons why it does not matter how many syllables that you fit in each bar is 1, not all syllables are created equal. They're not all the same length. 2, the tempo of the instrumental that you're rapping over is going to determine how much time, how much space that you have within each bar. But remember, all bars are always a mile, right? They're always the same length. What changes is how fast are you traveling across it? What's the tempo of the track? And number 3, the emotion of the instrumental may dictate how dense that you want to pack your bars out, because the more dense that you fill in your bars, the more aggressive it's going to most likely feel. And the more space that you leave in your bars, the more chill or maybe relaxed that it's going to feel. And the 3 ways that we fill in each bar is 1, density, how many syllables, right? Volume, the amount of syllables that we use per bar. Number 2, sustain, how long each syllable is held. And number 3, space, vacancy, pausing, breaths. My name is ColeMize or ColeMizeStudios.com, and it is my mission, my main goal, to help you be a better rapper now. And if you're new to my channel, I have a gift that I would love to hook you up with. It's going to help you get a jump start on improving and growing your rap skills. And it's an ebook that I wrote called The #1 Fundamental to Rapping. It's a really easy read. It's going to give you a really good perspective and understanding of how this whole rap thing works. And you can read it all within, 15, 20 minutes. It's really easy to consume, and it'll give you a really cool perspective on how this thing actually works. And it's also going to share with you what I believe to be the #1 fundamental to rapping. Again, my name is ColeMize with ColeMizeStudios.com. And always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules. There's only techniques. Peace. Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it.